Stowaway is the latest Netflix release. The movie stars Anna Kendrick as a medical researcher, Dae Kim as the ship's biologist, Shamier Anderson as the titular Stowaway, and Toni Collette as the ship commander. This is a second film directed by Joe Penna. I was a big fan of his directorial debut, Arctic. Both films are very similar, and the focus of the movie is on a small group of characters who are stuck alone trying to survive. I had high expectations for Stowaway because of how much I liked Arctic and how much I enjoyed my experience in this. And I have to say, my expectations for Stowaway is exceeded. I love this movie. There's so much more of his style within Stowaway that I loved. The characters are all well defined and portrayed beautifully by the actors. Joe Pena is definitely improving by expanding the story in Stowaway, where you ask yourself what you would do in the situation. The movie follows the events of a expedition of three crewmates to Mars to conduct experiments in order to see if life can prosper on the planet. On their way to Mars, the ship commander discovers another human on board who is accidentally on the ship. The extra person quickly becomes a part of the team, though. With the extra body, the crewmates realize there is not enough oxygen for everyone to survive the mission. This dilemma drives the movie along as a major point of it. You ask yourself multiple questions along the way of this movie, like, can you live with the guilt of taking someone's life? How much is one life worth? And how do we value individual lives compared to other people's lives? And are you willing to give up your own life for someone you don't know? Each person has different answers to these questions, which causes the tension between the characters. And I can only imagine the awkwardness in that ship based on what these characters believe is right and what they should do to resolve this issue. I thought this movie was very well paced. It started out slow, but then ramps up towards the end. Most space movies are do this and take their time and let the viewer soak in the vastness of space. It's all the space movie kind of concept, so I'm okay with the slow start at the beginning. The movie makes you wait, but rewards you in a great way with beautiful space shots of the ship in space floating at the end of the movie. The slow build does make the ending more impactful, I think, too. I was on the edge of my seat watching this movie. The intense ending was even made even better by the score of the film done by Hauschka, all by piano, I'm guessing. It's great suspense music, and it just makes you not look away from the screen of what's happening on to the characters in that moment. And it lasts the whole last 30 minutes of the movie, which is great too. This is definitely a soundtrack that I'll be listening to again because of the great piano playing and great work with the music. The movie does use source music one time in the movie in a great scene between the ship's biologist and the stowaway. The two characters bond over the music of jazz. I feel jazz is having a reinsurgence in film lately, and I love hearing it and explanations behind how it is created and how jazz musicians get the songs they want and riffed off. It's a great way to see the connection between the two characters and see how much they start caring for one another. This movie really focuses on the relationship between the four characters, and it's the best part of the film. You understand the motives each character makes because of the superb acting by all of them. There is a scene where the stowaway is being told the situation and the camera just stays focused on his character as we see the array of emotions coming and going from his face as he's realizing what has to be done. The crew of the spaceship is given adjectives to describe them perfectly by the stowaway. The ship commander is described as smart. The medical researcher is described as caring. The ship biologist is described as driven. I love that the characters were defined by these words, and it's just developed some more and shows why they make the decisions they did using just one word. But as you might have guessed, I loved watching this movie. The score of Stowaway is going to be very high for me. I'm going to give it a 92 out of 100. If you have not checked this film out on Netflix yet, please do so. Also, go give Arctic a see as well. Joe Pena's delivering some great movies, and he's just gonna make the next one even better, I believe.